Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game that we're making. Well guys, today is the day when we make the ending of this game. Still a little more testing to do, but aside from that, yeah. The light is at the end of the tunnel, and it's all exploding and stuff. First things first, gonna give you 100 HP like I had planned originally. And from there, what do I want to do? Right. I need to create an event where a big ol' explosion is going to be taking place on the outside of the castle. So if we're standing here and we go, and then the camera's going to pan over to this point. Where do I want the explosion? Probably in the very center of the screen. So the big explosion is about to happen because the castle is going to be blowing up. And it's going to be quite the explosion, actually. So let's start by having the big explosion. Yeah, right there will do. Now I'm hoping my microphone is turned on, by the way. Yeah. There was a little bit of coughing earlier and I turned it off because I don't want to record myself in the stream coughing. Yeah, I actually have it turned back on after the cough was over. Very important that. So this is where the big ol' explosion is going to take place. Now let's go ahead and go back to the rope that took off. After the series of random explosions, it's going to shake the screen. After going here, of course. Go over here, shake the screen. And then, like I said, there's going to be a big explosion. So, we got one last map to create. So here was the map when we enter the castle for the first time. And now I'm going to create the map for when we're exiting the castle. And it's exploding and stuff. It's a simple map going to be. So let's see here. Which graphic was it? Let's just go through these. Oh, there we go. This is the one. Like I said, it's a big explosion. And we'll name this map Kaboom. Now let's see here. Trying to figure out what the timing of the sound effect is going to be here, what it's going to be like once it's over. Because we also need kind of... No, going to be slower than that. Chasing it all the way down apparently does not make the sound effect last as long as I thought it was going to be. In fact, it's arguably the same length as it is normally. No, it is slower. It's just not as slow as I expected. Oh well. Let's go ahead and get us sent over to that map. Kaboom. We'll set us at those coordinates. Oh, and we're going to have a white melt to go to that map. And when we enter this map, There's that sound effect again. Now, I'm gonna kind of want to do something special here, and this is gonna be a little bit tricky, because as a reminder, under the castle, your team is separated and you have to get your teammates back. But I'm leaving it possible to actually move on without them. Now, I don't know how easy it would be to defeat the final boss without a couple of teammates, but I'm leaving the option open regardless, and I kind of want this next part to kind of reflect that, because after all, you're leaving them behind in this castle that is exploding, and I kind of want to reference that. So, first thing I need to do is create the circumstances where you normally are winning. So let's actually move this event to the spot where the camera's going to be sitting, just as reference. And we're going to go ahead and take over to that. And the camera will slowly fade out. So halfway would be this point. And after that, the camera would fade to go wherever the ending is, but we'll worry about that in a moment. First things first, though, we need to have a situation where basically I want the characters that got left behind to be falling down from the screen. So one of them would probably be here, I assume? Yeah. And then the other character would be here. So, this is where it gets tricky. First off, if Jenny is not on your team, then that obviously means that you left her behind. But Darastrix is going to be a little bit more tricky because he's optional to begin with. So, under the condition, first off, that he's not on your team, but also, if Switch 4 is off. No, wait, if Switch 4 is on. Switch 4 being on signifies that we got him on our team earlier. So, get that dragon sprite. So this is the normal circumstance. Now for the second circumstance where Jenny is not on our team, that's going to be the second page of this. In fact, I think I can go ahead and have the condition for Darastrix not being on our team here as well. So let's go ahead and create that. If either of these apply, it takes over to the second page of this event. Which is going to start off with that sound effect as before. Along with the little weight there. But additionally, what I'm going to have happen is I'm going to pan the camera up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And the reason why I'm panning the camera up, like I said before, you cannot have events that are different moving at the same time. So I'm going to be using a bit of visual trickery. By having the camera pan up, it's going to appear like they're falling down. In fact, that reminds me, I want the falling sound. What was the falling sound again? Slime hole. There it was. Let's move the camera up 15, actually. That way they're definitely clear off the screen. And then we're going to have the fade out, and it's going to move on to the ending. And, you know what, just in case, I'm not very confident that the sound of the explosion will trigger before... No, let me try this again. So, this sound, I feel like it's not going to last long enough to overlap the continued sound of explosion. So I'm actually going to also place a similar sound in front of it, like so. And something else I'm going to do whenever the camera pans up. I'm going to make the party disappear. Just in case the party is not completely off screen. So party display, disappear, which reminds me, whenever we get to the kaboom, we need to also have the screen default to its default position. Also its default color, now that I think about it. Except, not entirely, because after going to the default color, I'm also going to want to change the color specifically of characters on screen. To make them all burnt and stuff. Also, hello there, dead Zergling! Welcome to my stream. I am currently creating the ending of the game. That is pretty exciting. Alright, where do I want to go from here? We need to have more than one possibility of where the ending goes, because I kind of want to show Darastrix's epilogue, but of course only if he happened to be joining the team. So I think I'll go ahead and create a blank map here. I spelled it wrong and I don't care. So move location to the start of the epilogue. So at the start of this, we're going to go ahead and default the screen and the screen color, because we don't need them changed at this point. So we need a condition for if Darastrix has joined. I wonder what song I want to use for the ending. The kind of thing of it, I haven't quite thought of that. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and take over to this event here. So this event will have 2 pages. One page will lead to our main heroes, and the other page will lead to the Darastrix part of it. So the main part of the ending will take place in the burned house. Probably like right there-ish. While the ending with Darastrix will see him returning to his spot in the Inferno. So Dead Circling is wondering what else I've got planned beyond this. Well, after I get this ending done, I want to have like an opening dialogue sort of thing at the start of the game, and then I need to do a full test run. After that, I also want to show off the demo feature in Anime Maker. It's a rarely used feature because it has absolutely no use in RPG Maker itself. And then after that, I'm going to be playing through RPG Maker's sample game, Gobbly. It's a game starring a goblin who is tired of being a random encounter and wants to be a boss. It's a cute little story. Alright, so let's see here. Let's start by creating the section where we have Darastrix returning to his location. And get your thinking caps on because I kind of want to have a little bit of a thing going on here. So this is going to be whenever Darastrix is going to be returning to his spot. Under condition, that 23 that we've been using for. I said 23. In fact, I kind of also want to do that thing where he's still burnt to a crisp. If you didn't rescue him before. So in this situation, it's not only going to take over to that, but also, let's see here. What was the screen color that I was using? That color. I'm definitely going to want to make sure that all this is set up correctly, because I don't want the ending to play whenever we're coming here before reaching the ending. It looks like it's set up correctly, though. this page has no chance of activating until it's triggered on purpose. Because the way events work, in case it's not obvious, is it works right from left, and it goes to whatever page has a functional condition first. So even though there's no conditions for these last pages, it's going to skip them because it's checking the page to the left to see if those have conditions that work. Something like that. Basically skipping the pages that don't have conditions, with the exception being the first page, which can't have conditions. Let me go back to this, the epilogue start. I'm going to have the ending thing start to play here. But what song do I want for the ending? Not that one. Maybe we'll go with this song. And with that in mind, we'll want to make sure that song continues playing whenever we get to the Inferno part of the ending. So Darastrix is going to kind of step up for a moment. And he's gonna be all... Let's see here. First, Darastrix. Well, it's... to go back to being a lava fall. And once again, I'm one character too long from having this fit. So we'll just do that. And we'll wait a couple of seconds and then... Let's see here. Save a little bit of time. Copy 20 letters. Nah, I think instead and this is where you guys come in. So, what is Darastrix the Dragon going to do now that he's helped defeat this villain? What is he gonna go out and do? Be creative, be silly if you want. And I will go ahead and have him decide to do that thing. In the meantime, after he says that, he's going to start wandering off. And we're gonna go into the burned house, where that part of the ending plays out. Actually, I don't really have time to put in that part of the ending, so I'll just wait for you guys to come up with the idea for what we're doing here with what is Darastrix doing. Any ideas yet? What is going to be Darastrix's hobby now that he's done this? Because being a lava fall will just be boring. He'll want to do something better. Hopefully somebody has an idea. If not, I might just have to ask in the next stream instead. Lantis says maybe to go find his fortune out in the world so he can eventually accrue a dragon's hoard, as all dragons are wont to do. Yeah, this is true. I kinda wanna hoard some video games. Go find some gold to hoard. Preferably some lava proof gold. And that is Darastrix's epilogue, and now it is going to be the end of the stream. And next time, we're going to find out what Monkey C and Jenny are up to now that they've defeated the ultimate fire-type evil. Oh boy, next time we'll be ending this. I'm definitely excited. It's a little hard for me to show excitement for some reason, probably because at this point we're at the end of a 2-hour stream and my voice is worn out. But trust me, I am excited.